What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to be installing the first mod for my 2022 Mazda 3 hatchback. If that sounds interesting to you, let's hop into it. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Brandon and this is Stratty's World, where I like to do a lot of car mods. I don't like factory looking vehicles, man, because that's not what I'm about. Any vehicle that I ever owned will have something that'll make it stand out from the rest. Like, look at this CLS 550 right here. It's got some 18 by 10.5 Mandaris big boy wheels on it. I don't know what those are. All I know is my dad bought those for his Mercedes. This is my dad's car. And those wheels might be more than like the next 10 mods that I have planned for this car. Anyway, no stock vehicles here. I will never own a stock vehicle. You know why? Because that's part of the normal people. I ain't no normal person, okay? As you can see right here, I ain't no normie. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. Today's mod is Mudflaps. Because rally, bro. Now, am I going to be rally crossing this Mazda 3? Heck no. Do you see people rally crossing their Ford Focus STs? Heck no. But guess what? They look amazing with Mudflaps. Just my opinion. This thing is going to look amazing with Mudflaps. Just my opinion. You can differ if you want to. That's why we're humans. Debating is good. But you're not going to tell me that they're not going to look good. I mean, you could tell it. You could tell me. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's your opinion against mine. Hey, at the end of the day, it's my car. So I'm not going to let you tell me what to do with my car. All right? All right, anyway, guys, sorry. Man, I'm ranting a little bit. So today, guys, we are going to be installing some Rally Armor mud flaps on my Mazda 3. Now, as far as I know, there's two different, well, aside from this one, there's only one other brand that I know of that makes mud flaps for the Mazda 3, and that's Rock Blocks. I actually did a comparison video on my Crosstrek video. I can leave that in the description if y'all want to see the comparison between the two. In a nutshell, Rock Blocks is made of a hard plastic material, whereas Rally Armor mud flaps are made of a polyurethane rubbery type of material. Personally, I chose I've owned both, but personally I like the Rally Armor best just because of longevity and I like the little flappy flap, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. There's just something about the flappy flap in the wind that a flappy mud flap in the wind, I don't know. It just hits different. I don't know. It just looks really good. All right, leave me alone, all right? I'm not normal. It's all right. In a nutshell, I'm personally a huge fan of Rally Armor. I prefer them over the Rock Blocks. Really, the only thing about the Rock Blocks that I really liked and that a lot of people seem to go with them is because of the color options that you can get with the Rock Blocks. You can get Rock Blocks for this car in like any color of the rainbow if you want. If you want some lime green ones, you can go ahead and do it. Whereas you're pretty limited with the colors that Rally Armor makes. You have classic black, red, and for this car they actually have white. With the Crosstrek they only have black and red. And yeah, that was pretty much it. So we're gonna crack this bad boy open and see what we have. So here we go, guys. We have, as you can see here, complete instruction kit, everything that you will need to install this on your Mazda 3 hatch. So let's go ahead and hop over to the vehicle and get these things installed. All right, guys, so here we are at the front of the car. We're gonna start with the front because it's gonna be the easiest. We're gonna be removing these two pop clips. So all you need to do is just get you a flathead and just pop them in there. They got little grooves. Just catch and then twist and pull. Okay, so now that we got our two pop rivets off, we're not going to be reusing those. We can just put those, you can just put those away, keep them for later. Definitely keep them for later because I'm planning on getting bigger tires. So I feel like we might have some rubbing issues. So I might have to take the front ones off later on, but that's later on down the road. So just plan for the future. So I would just keep these if I were you. So next what we're going to do is we're going to take our U-clip and our poly clip. You have the bigger one and then the smaller one. So the smaller one, we're going to pull back on this weather liner like this. The smaller one is going to go at the top, just like that. And the bigger one is going to go at the bottom. Make sure the male part is on the inside inside towards the firewall. So we're gonna put it on like that. This one's gonna be kind of weird. You gotta get it kind of at an angle, but then you can hear it kind of like snap in place, kind of like that. So now what you're gonna do is take your bracket and bend this, and you're gonna bend it towards you. Kind of bend it. We're doing the bending so it kind of morphs to the trim. So we're gonna bend it kind of like that. See, kind of bent. And now at the top, we're gonna bend it away from us, okay? So we're gonna do it like this. Bend it upwards instead of downwards, like on the bottom, okay? So on the bottom, we're gonna bend it down. The top, we're gonna bend it up. And so now it should fit properly in place. You know you did it right when it fits snug and hugs the weather liner properly. So just like that, man, just like that. I know you can't really tell, but it's snug, okay? Next, we're gonna take our 4 plastic washers. We're gonna take the bigger screw that is supplied and then the medium-sized screw that is supplied. There's 3 different supplied screws. You have 2 big ones, 2 medium-sized ones, and 4 mini ones. And then also we're gonna need 2 nuts. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna take this. Logo side is gonna go towards the back of the vehicle. Bracket is gonna go on the logo side. So we're gonna stick this one right there. Push that one through this hole. This one through the bottom hole. So we're at like that. Okay. We're gonna take a washer. Medium screw goes in the top, and we're just gonna get it started. We're not gonna tighten down at all. Okay, so now we're gonna take another washer, longer screw. That one's gonna go at the base, or at the very bottom. So now we're gonna take a nut and a washer, put it at the top, exposed screw, another washer, another nut, put them at the bottom, exposed screw. Okay, and now it's just about tightening everything down. So I'm gonna just take my drill and very slowly tighten down these screws. All right. See the flappy flappy? I know y'all like the flappy flappy. I mean, come on, look at that flappy flappy. So now we're gonna take our socket. It's going to be an 11, or you could just take a crescent wrench, whatever works for you. We're just gonna tighten that down. And that's it, guys. That's the front complete. Now we're gonna move on to the other side. I'm not gonna show you guys that because it's exactly the same. So you're gonna repeat this on the other side, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on to the back. All right, guys, so we've moved on to the back. As you can see, I went ahead and removed the rear tire. I tried my absolute hardest to not have to do it. I went ahead and previously did the other side, just off camera, just learning everything that I needed to do so I could show you guys what you should probably do. Now, again, I did it over there with the tire on. The instructions do say to just jack the car up. That way you have more of a wheel gap so you can work in here. Everything worked. Everything worked perfectly fine. You can do that if you want to. But at the very end, I didn't have the creative tools to get back in here and tighten down some of the screws. So I just went ahead and just took off. I had to end up taking off the tire anyway. So on this side, I just went ahead and took the tire completely off. Taking the tire off of this car compared to the Crosstrek is so much easier. The tire on my Subaru was so heavy. Compared to this, it just came right off. It was a lot less hassle. Yeah, working on a car, oh my goodness, this is going to be so much easier than working on my lifted Subaru. So anyway, okay, so with the wheel off or on, what you're going to do first is we're going to be removing this weather liner right here. So what we're going to do is take off this little plastic clip right here, and it just hand tightens on. Hand tighten that comes straight off. And then next back here, there is one screw and then one push clip right here. So we're going to remove those. So those 3 are off, and now there are 2 underneath here. 2 screws underneath here we're going to remove. So with those last 2 screws off, all you got to do is just pop it off. And it just slides right on out. All right, guys, so what we're going to do is flip over the weather liner to locate this little crosshair right here at the very bottom. This is where you unscrew those 2 screws at the very bottom. Just above it, right here, there's a little crosshair. Let me see if I can get that into focus. So right there, that little crosshair right there, that's going to be one of our drill points, okay? So what you're going to do is take, I like to use the center punch to get my drilling started. So we're going to do the little crosshair, like right on the crosshair. Just like that. Got our little pole started. And now the next one is going to be right here, okay? We have 1 notch, 2 notch, 3 notch, and then a blank. We're going to be putting it on the blank. 1 more notch, 2 more notches. So you have 2 notches on top, 3 on the bottom, the crosshair. So 1, 2, 3, the blank, okay? Now the instructions say to put it about 10 millimeters from the very outer edge. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't do that. I just kind of ballparked it and guessed. So it was about, so we're gonna say 10 millimeters, probably about like right there. So we're gonna get another punch. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our drill and create 2 pilot holes. So now what we're gonna do is keep expanding our pilot holes till we get to about a 1/4 bit. That's the size that we're gonna need, okay? So after our little drilling that we did, you should be left with something like that. You see we have our 2 holes right here and right here, 1, 2. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our supplied little orange clips and we're gonna put them on these 2 holes. We're gonna do one at the very bottom, and then the other one, we're gonna skip this hole and put it straight up here. It's gonna go right there. Now with those 2 in place, what we're gonna do is reinstall our weather liner. Now this is where it gets a little tricky because these orange clips will start to shift and move on you. You gotta get them like lined up perfectly, and it's annoying. So now that you got it kind of in place, all I would do is just take a screw and just try and put it in these holes and just make sure you're lined up properly. So now you know you got it in place. So now what we're gonna do is reinstall, reattach all the clips that we previously removed. So now what we're gonna do is take our bracket, the very bottom part, we're gonna bend that back. Bend it back just a little bit, so kind of like that. Okay, and then we're gonna take our mud flap. Remember, logo side goes towards the back. What we're gonna do is take the last of our washers and the 2 screws. Now at this point, I forgot to mention to you guys in the front, you're gonna wanna adjust it, you know, make sure it's straight how you want it. So pull it outwards, whatever you gotta do, just to make it look straight. So like that is straight. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna tighten these down. That way I have a base and it's where I want it. Now with those in place, we're gonna take our last 2 washers and our last 2 nuts and put those on. And that's it, guys. It's all bolted up. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the wheel back on and I'm gonna show you guys the very end result.